Holy smokes. After all this time, Phase 4 is finally here. The 2020s always seemed so far away as the MCU carefully layered all these stories together, but here we finally are. Infinity War and Endgame done. New TV shows introducing all sorts of wild ideas and characters, and the latest and greatest from some of the biggest, most popular and powerful heroes. With new movies and shows, we've got all sorts to contend with, so today we'll count down the top 10 most powerful superheroes coming to the MCU. Coming in at number 10, we've got Blade. Wait, Blade is coming back? The vampiric franchise that might have single-handedly saved the film side of Marvel back in the 2000s? The ass-kicking, sword-wielding, stake-tossing half-vampire is going to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Sign me up. This has been hinted at for ages, with rumors dating back to the early 2010s when the rights to this character changed up and became fully usable by Marvel again. Then in 2019, Kevin Feige and Mahershala Ali confirmed it at Comic-Con. Boom. So if you're in the mood for some blood and brutality, just wait a little while longer. Blade is on his way. It'll be interesting to see how he's integrated into the MCU though. Different things have been suggested, and he is getting an entire movie slated for 2022. However, this character stands in stark contrast to a whole lot of what's going on in Phase 4. Multiverses, insanely powerful creatures fighting for supremacy, you name it. And then we've got a vampire hunter. A bit of a power scaling issue, sure, but it'll be fun to see how it turns out. I bet Blade will have a bigger impact than we're guessing. Maybe he'll influence some of the more mainline heroes to rethink how they approach things. It seems like he'll be popping in and out of other movies and shows at assorted junctures, so he's not just limited to his own stuff, which does seem to be standard practice at this point, but at least we know he's not stuck in his own little side project. More to come on this one. Coming in at number 9, we've got Shang-Chi, some Canadian talent in Marvel. We love to see it. When the cast for Shang-Chi was announced, they had Simu Liu at the helm, playing the titular hero. What a reveal, from Kim's Convenience to the next major Marvel flick. Of course, we're here to talk about the heroes, not the actors playing them, so that we will do. Shang-Chi is one of the greatest martial artists on Earth, rivaled by very few. He was raised to be an assassin by his sorcerer father, but soon realized what he was trained to do was evil. So in true heroic fashion, he defected and walked his own path. The tale told in the comics is going to be a little different than the one in the movie, but you can be assured that there will be plenty of crazy martial arts fights and a whole truckload of magic and sorcery. This flick will be especially interesting, as years ago Marvel teased at the inclusion of a popular villain known as the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. This turned out to be a fake out and wasn't actually the character fans were expecting. Now it appears as though they're ready to reveal the Mandarin in all of his evil sorcerer's glory. Shang-Chi has taken part in many important battles throughout Marvel Comics and has worked with the Avengers on plenty of occasions. He seems to be a major player in a lot of upcoming events, so this movie will lay some important groundwork for Phase 4. Coming in at number 8, we've got She-Hulk. Yes, indeedy. She might not be getting her own movie right away, but it appears as though Jennifer Walters will be brought to life in a She-Hulk TV show. Cousin to Bruce Banner, She-Hulk has pretty much all of the same powers as the OG Green Giant, although she tends to be a little less powerful. When someone whose whole body was affected by gamma radiation gives you a blood transfusion, you can't expect to have the entirety of their powers. Still, she'll be stronger than most and an interesting addition to the world at large. This will also bring Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner back into the picture. Jennifer Walters is the centerpiece here though, as a lawyer who deals with cases concerning supers. Her turning into one herself could have some fascinating implications. It's been confirmed that after the She-Hulk series airs on Disney+, fans will be seeing more of Walters as she crosses over into the movies. Setting up an iconic character like this will give fans a chance to meet and understand She-Hulk before she debuts on the big screen. Character development can be done with more detail, and it also removes the need to do another introductory movie where nothing major happens on a grand scale. Add in appearances by Abomination and Titania, and you've got a whole assortment of classic Marvel characters finally getting their chance in the MCU. Coming in at number 7, we've got Miss Marvel. On the other end of things, we've got a relatively new hero getting a miniseries too. Miss Marvel, aka Kamala Khan, a mild-mannered teenager with shape-shifting abilities, out to do as much good in the world as possible. This should be extra interesting, as it's supposedly supposed to set up The Marvels, a feature film focusing on the Marvels, Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. After being introduced in 2013 and getting her own series in 2014, Miss Marvel has been a fan favorite, drawing lots of attention and winning a Hugo Award along the way. After appearing in the Avengers video game as the main character, Miss Marvel continued her rise to fame. We'll see how she uses her embiggening powers to deal with all sorts of problems in the miniseries and then on the big screen. Coming in at number 6, we've got Moon Knight. Mark Spector, everyone. He might not be the strongest hero going, but he's definitely an exceptionally interesting one. An incredible athlete, detective, and strategist, Moon Knight is a welcome addition to any super team, although his dissociative identity disorder sometimes causes him trouble. You know, because he's a conduit for the Egyptian moon god Khonshu. Another mini-series to movie pipeline here, Oscar Isaac takes on the role of Mark Spector. He's been described as an action hero who jumps out of buildings and gets into fights. Surely that's enough to get you interested, right? Not much else has been said about the series, but Moon Knight has a wide and varied history in the comics and should be a joy to behold. Coming in at number 5, we've got Jane Foster. After his wildly popular Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi returns to direct the next God of Thunder MCU experience. This one's called Thor, Love and Thunder and will feature Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, who will now be taking up the mantle of Thor. Poor Jane Foster, tragically losing both her parents while working hard to work her way through medical school and then developing cancer herself. However, through knowing Thor, she was ready and worthy when Mjolnir was no longer able to be used by the God of Thunder. And by picking it up, she also donned the mantle of Thor. This upcoming movie promises to be slick and stylish, just like Ragnarok, and how they handled Jane Foster's character should be a blast. Coming in at number 4, we've got Carnage. Is Carnage a hero? A villain? Something else entirely? Well, let's be real, mostly a villain. A new symbiote, stronger and more evil than Venom, is on its way to the movies in a follow-up to the first Venom flick. Taking over Cletus Cassidy, a convicted serial killer, Carnage will be ready to put some bodies in the ground. Critical reception to Venom was shaky, but audiences seem to love it. Let's hope the schlocky charm of the first sticks around, even with this darker element being added. Woody Harrelson playing the newer, redder symbiote should be a wild time indeed. Coming in at number 3, we've got Gilgamesh. Now we're getting into the Eternals, a group of cosmic beings who have watched over Earth for millennia. Essentially immortal and incredibly powerful, these beings will change how everything operates in the MCU. Gilgamesh is the strongest physically of all the Eternals. Also known as the Forgotten One, he has strength and durability in spades, incredibly difficult to damage, and has a regenerative healing factor. Lifting thousands of tons is no problem for him too. If it's raw brute strength that you're looking for, then look no further. Coming in at number 2, we've got Makkari, another Eternal. This one is more well known for her speed. Appearing male in the comics, Makkari will be played by Lauren Ridloff in the movie. Even with her insane speed pushed to the absolute limit, there are a whole lot of other powers that Makkari can draw upon, including strength, intelligence, and a love for teaching. Makkari seems to enjoy helping humans learn things, especially stuff they probably wouldn't have figured out on their own. Makkari is also deaf, making her the first deaf superhero to appear in the MCU. Finally, at number 1, we've got Ikaris. Essentially Marvel's answer to Superman, Ikaris is everything an archetypal superhero should be. Big, buff, able to fly, laser eyes, you name it. For all these reasons, Ikaris seems to be the most popular of the Eternals in the comics. We'll see if they can hold on to that popularity once the movie hits. There's always that sleeper favorite, right? An incredible combatant, Ikaris is known for his defeat of the first mutant, Apocalypse. Hell, he's even taken on Silver Surfer and emerged victorious. He's also got a very strong moral compass and believes that the Eternals should always be doing their best to play the role of hero to the humans of Earth. If they can't protect them, who will? There are so many famous and beloved heroes making their first appearance in the MCU very soon. Phase 4 should be insane to say the least. The hype has been building for years, and now we can see if Marvel's able to pull off a whole new era after Infinity War. Capitalizing on already established fan favorites is one thing, bringing in a brand new cast and running with it is another. So, what do you think? Do you agree with my picks? Which upcoming superhero reveal are you looking forward to the most? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.